What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 5. We are getting close now. Will we get there this episode? You'll have to stay with me to find out. So currently on the moon, it looks like just making sure things go ahead as planned. There is an achievement for terraforming the moon, FYI. So I am going to get a terraformer down on here ASAP if I haven't done it already. Can't remember in what order I did things in today. I am seeing there are a couple of nuggets suffocating. That means that they're running out of oxygen in their suits, which means that it's taking me too long to get the planet safe, I guess. So I'll chuck down an oxygen refill, carrying on with the research as normal. Not much left to go. We can see there is, looks like 7 of the discovery point researches to do, and we currently have 1,500 still, so we're gonna have more than we'll ever need of that, and it just keeps climbing. One tip that I did forget to do again, and that is when you go on a new planet, you need to put down some form of school or university. That is so that the nuggets that you send there, say 20 or 15 like I've been doing, of course the babies will all be uneducated, and uneducated nuggets can't do anything on the planet. Well, I think they can govern, but that's about it, and use the cemeteries, but the other buildings require educated nuggets, so be warned. You can send some over, I guess, but it's a good idea to make that one of your first items that you build after the sort of food, water, power. 2 questions answered here. You do get events on the moon or other planets. There is one happening right now because I was on here too long, and also we get exiles too. So there is an exile civilization building their town, village, city, whatever you want to call it, somewhere else on the moon. They are, of course, aggressive because they're always aggressive per the settings. I'll leave them alone for now. See if they're any different to the normal ones, if they're aliens or not sure what, or if they're just normal nuggets, the same as the rest of them from the main starter planet. The reason the terraformer is green is because it's just creating green on the planet. It goes red on a cold planet, it goes blue on a hot planet, which I haven't done yet. I think that's the only achievement left for me to do. And then green if there's nothing wrong with the planet temperature wise, but it's just converting it to vegetation. Flying back to Nugeta, the starting planet, we can see there are planes flying about. Now there is a use for the planes, either something's changed, it looks like patches or something that I don't know. But if you click on that, you will clearly see that the airport now has a use. Tourist attractiveness. The airport brings the exiles back to your city or your town. So it basically turns exiles back into your nuggets. To do so, you need firstly to have a lot of the wonders built, which we only have 2. You also need to have your nuggets be very happy, which of course we're 100%. And also, it seems that you need to be friendly with them as well. It doesn't seem that they will come on holiday to your location if they are angry with you. But that's the airport, and it does actually have a use now, so that's good. It's a step forward. You can only build 1. And likely I'll destroy mine before. I'm not making friends with them, but that's what we decided for this series, so we're not going to be doing that anytime soon. Going in for another rocket now. We know we need to extend past the planet that we're currently on to the last planet, which is the one that will give us our 3rd and final part of the planet cracker. Speaking of the planet cracker, let's check in. Part 1 and part 3 are complete. We are 67% complete. That button, the relaunch button, isn't actually lit up, so it has been patched, fixed, sorted, even though nobody responded to me. So item 1 is from our main planet, Nugeta. Item 3 is from the moon, so we've completed that too. All we need to do now is go to that final 3rd planet and get the 3rd part, and then we can get into the end game that you've seen on the season before, the previous, but obviously this time we're going destructive instead of peace. And working nicely at the minute. The using the couriers around these sort of buildings helps as well. Resources getting to the rockets and the spaceports quite quick actually. Not too bad. I'm not seeing the issues I had on the previous one, but also I've not taken over as many planets and I've destroyed none, because obviously we don't have that level yet with the planet cracker. So this rocket is ready to go, and of course we're going to send it there. This planet is an ice planet, and it is the planet that has the final part of the quest in it. I left it on slow so we can have a nice little ground level rocket launch there. But we've seen many of those by now, if you've been watching me much on this game at all. So nothing too exciting. I'm not going to follow it into space, and it's very, very straight up vertical trajectory. Down here you can see I'm building some random buildings. There is a builder's hut, an eatery, a terraformer, a warehouse, and 3 solar panels. They are all to be condensed into the builder bots to take to another planet. I do try and launch a second rocket to a planet I've already colonized. You can't do that, but you can transfer the builder bots via the spaceport, so that's fine. So that's why I'm building them. Now, one thing I am confused about is it doesn't matter what building you build and miniaturize it, you can use it to build anything anyway. So in reality, moving forward, I'm just going to build loads of cheapo buildings and turn them into the builder bots, and then use them to make the good stuff, and that is cheaper resources. Let's load into this new planet and see what it looks like. Here we are, and this is the part we need, so it makes sense to build our epicenter as close to that as possible, and water. So there you can see a nice big lake. Don't care how much is in it as long as it is a lake. 24,000, that's more than enough. And then I'll just go right smack in the middle of the two. So we have our water source, nice and simple, but we're right next to that as well. So a very medium amount of infrastructure required to actually build that final part of the story. Will we stay on this planet? I don't know. It depends how we go or how we want to move forward. The idea of this series was just to complete the game correctly, i.e. collect all 3 parts. And this is the 3rd one of that. So technically the sort of objective for this series is almost over. Season 6 will be a playthrough, making it as hard as possible for myself, though I've still not really looked into that properly yet. But we'll see about that another time. Let's get this planet moving on and see if we can get some of these buildings built ASAP. It's a bit slow, and all of the nuggets are getting frozen as always, which is a frozen planet. They turn into ice cubes. You have to use your fire spell to defrost them. That costs 50 creator points per. So what I decided to do was I'll leave them alone for a bit. I've just dumped loads of creator points into the trickle spell, and I'll get this reservoir that's just finished filled with drinking water so that everybody's safe and healthy. I can then go elsewhere and get some other stuff done while we give it a bit of time to build this stuff up. Back home on Nugeta, bloody hell, I'm the one that named it and I can't say it. You can see there that them buildings are now complete, so we can tell them to be miniaturized. You'll do that by, in the bottom right hand corner, you can see that purple icon. Click that. If it's not there, that means you can't miniaturize the building. Not all of them can be, but there is quite a lot that can. Some make more sense than others. I didn't pick right, so. But seemingly all the buildings require the same resource to turn them into builder bots. So yes, in fact, I'm now going to look at whatever the cheapest is. I think it's an engineer's hut, but it could be a reservoir. Basically build 5, 10 of those, and then you've got nice, easy builder bot capabilities. Now, steel is a problem, and it's a problem for every planet. I use this planet for resources and send them resources off to where I need them. Steel is getting very low, as you can see. So are computer chips. So is plastic, fuel, and chemicals. So over here, at this new desert that I found by accident, but it's very handy, I've chucked down 2. I think I actually chucked down 3 in total, but I could be wrong. Steel factories. A new cemetery to make sure anybody that dies around here don't rot. We put down a chemical plant and what's the other thing? An electronics factory, I believe. And then, of course, because it's very conveniently built on top of the desert, everybody knows by now, I hope, that a desert is full of oil or gas. So we'll get a few of them built as well to rip out them resources. We're looking okay at the minute, but we might as well get it while we can. It's not going to go anywhere on its own, and it's not going to gain any if we leave it. So efficiency wise, it doesn't make any sense to ignore it. So we'll get those built down as we can. The infrastructure is already in the place, which is why this is nice and simple, and they're not the most expensive buildings to build anyway. But we're going to need a lot of steel, cement, and the chips, etc. for all of these planets, and building up the actual resources we need, including the terraformers, which also eat a lot of, well, actually they're very efficient, but they still eat quite a lot of fuel and chemicals to fix a planet. So after a bit of confusion, trying to figure out how to get the builder bots onto a planet I've already colonized, this is where I realized that you can't send a second ship to a planet you've already done. You have to use the spaceports, which makes sense, I suppose, though I don't see why I can't land one, but anyway. So all you need to do is go onto your transfer window, as always, and it is in fact down at the far right, along with the additional additional nuggets, there we go, and the nuggetoids, should you need them. Like so. Force enough. Launch them. Exactly the same process, they're just like a resource. We have 5 nuggetoids on the main planet, but actually if you pay attention to the bottom resources, you'll notice that we actually have, I think, 11 more obtanium now, because we're obviously manning it on the planets where we can. Finally got the concrete over here so we can get this cemetery built, because people are dying and making a mess and causing things that I don't want to sort out myself, quite rightly so. That's the point of the game. It's a management game, so if I can get something or someone to do it for me, I will. The whole planet was short on cement, to be honest, because it's one of the resources I didn't think I'd need, but apparently you do. Now this trade vessel arriving is the one that includes the builder bots. So we'll wait for that to drop down and then to pop out, just so that you get a full concept of how they work. So there they are. And then all you need to do is go over to build, and that top left hand corner you can see there, it says 4, how many builder bots you've got. When you click that, it shows you the buildings that you can build with said builder bot. It will automatically select one, and they'll walk around following you until you decide where you want to put it. The first thing we're going to do is a terraformer. Nightmare to build otherwise. But with this, it just goes plop. Now, one thing it is annoying, I'm still getting used to, is once you've done all that, you still need the resources to run these things. That goes for the terraformer, and it goes for the thing that, the machine that takes out the parts for the robot. I can't remember what it's called, 𝐿𝐷𝐿 or something, I don't know. Just going through now, but you can see all of these buildings that are highlighted or lit up, I can build them instantly with these builder bots. So you only need to miniaturize a building that you can get the builder bots from, and then you can basically build an entire base in seconds just using a decent amount of builder bots. Now, one thing I have noticed is if you send them on the ship, they are very heavy. They're about 18, 19 kilos each, which of course won't allow you to fit many on the ship. If you send them through the spaceport, they're only 5 kilos each. So you can send quite a few, as long as you've got the infrastructure. Remember that you get, is it 40 kilos per, I think, yeah, it's 40 kilos per spaceport, and we've got 3. So 120 kilos. And of course, I am fully uncovering everything I can, and then I'm going to get them free bits as well, because, well, they're free. As long as you've got an observatory turned on, you can receive those hidden satellites. Okay, a little bit later, the resources have arrived. You can see available 3 out of 3, 0%. I'm not sure I understand the UI of that, but what I do know is it's saying it is finished, because it says 0% and it starts at 100. It looks like it goes down in 3 stages, each stage requiring slightly different resources. But that, in theory, should mean that when we go to Nuggeta and look at the planet destroyer, the planet cracker, we should have 3 out of 3 and 100% completion. Never mind, hang on. There's a tornado about to go straight into my base, which we do not want. There we go. Now is it going to sod off? No, it's turned, and now it's coming this way. I can bounce it back a little bit, but now I've run out of creator points, so I can't build another one. by another one, I mean the dome. So that building's going to have to take a beating, but it's fine. Luckily, it just leaves the platform there that you can tell it to rebuild easily enough. And that garage managed to stay. So we click rebuild there. And to be honest, that's not going across the lake, so I don't care. That's not going to come back. They very rarely just do a 180, so I'm not too worried about it causing any problems. I am getting a lot of these warnings where it says the moon is out of drinking water. It's a lie. There's nothing wrong with the moon. The moon's water is fine. In fact, so far, pretty much all of those warnings have been wrong, apart from the food ones. Just doing something a little bit different here, because, I don't know, I feel like it. I want to chuck down 3, what they called, meteor showers onto the large exile civilization. Especially with me, should be ready to sort of end the game quest anyway, the storyline. So I decided to throw a few nuggets into the grinder to give me... I only need 900 points. The first couple are a bit pants, you only get 100, but after that you get like 200 each, so it's very easy to get creator points if you are the bad guy. And then over we go. You can see actually they build way outside of the dome, but they're also... That is my base there to the left, or my civilization. We are very, very close to each other. I haven't seen them build any helicopters or tanks at all in this series. So whether that's a bug or something else, I couldn't tell you. But there you can see it has actually broken through. Now remember, if you use your meteor to kill exiles, you will get points for that for the fear. So that just knocked down the buildings, as you've noticed. But pay attention a little bit, because what we're going to do now is get a few more points. So that means killing a few of... I think 2 of my nuggets. Yeah, well, it's a couple more on the chopping block, and we've now got 600, which is enough for 2 meters. But watch this time. Because there are actually nuggets destroyed, look how quick the points go back up. There you go, we're already at 3, 4, 5, 6. 680 and climbing, so that allows me to do 2 more. That takes me down to 120, and then immediately, as it starts actually killing nuggets, you get the points back. So yeah, you can actually get a decent chain reaction with the meteorites or the meteor storms that give you your points that you use back. Also, it gives you a huge boost in believers. My believers are rubbish, and we know why that is. Only 1/3 of the civilization believe in me now. That's because it's basically doing its own thing. I don't get involved anymore. I don't do anything. I'm doing all the other planets. This planet is left pretty much on its own, apart from when I build manufacturing buildings to get more resources. Now what I'm going to do is just collect all of these lucky boxes, just so that I can build wonders if I want to. And then we'll get to the planet cracker. So the planet cracker is built. I've skipped the bit where it's building because you just click the relaunch button. We did that last time. It's exactly the same. We have all 3 parts. Click the button, and then you have to wait for it to build itself. We then have to send him on his way to Gaia, which is the planet that the overlords live. By overlord, I mean the commentator of this game. And then you have to wait a few seconds for it to arrive. Once arrived, you can click the link, go into the loading screen, and here we go. Enjoy.
Ah, Creator, you've arrived. I've been expecting you, but we'll need to delay our celebrations for just a moment, because there seems to be some kind of misunderstanding. Why is your fancy toy attacking my beautiful city? Has it suffered a malfunction of sorts? Pause for a moment. If you destroy it all, the nugget artists will be left with nothing to sketch.
Okay, so this endgame bit is a bit crap, to be honest with you, IMO. So you have to pick. Now this one, you can see on that pedestal there is a lightning, so you use your lightning spell. Going over the lake here, you can see that's got a cloud on it, so you use your trickle spell. It took me like an hour to figure this out when I did it the first time, so yeah, just in case. And then as easy as this, here's the one with fire on it, and you use your fire spell. And that is it, another cutscene.
Hold on, dear creator. Before you wreak irreversible havoc upon my creation, I must confess, I sent a planet cracker to collect the nuggets because, well, you were getting too powerful. But fear not, for it was all for your own safety. Now, let me regale you with the truth. It all started with humans, those endlessly curious creatures. They were always on the hunt to create, even to the point of replication. They sought to experiment with intelligent life and used robots in their initial trials. Alas, as is often the case, their creations misbehaved and malfunctioned, and, at times, even rebelled against their makers. Unfazed by such setbacks, humans persisted in their pursuit of creation. They had eventually shifted their focus from robotics to the natural world already around them. Driven by insatiable curiosity, humans ventured into the realm of flora. They sought to unlock the secrets of a sentient existence, playing at being gods themselves. Humans made a remarkable discovery with the genetic blueprint of trees. They found that the glucose present in the blood of living beings held an extraordinary power. It fueled the growth of intelligence within flora. Yes, dear creator, the vital essence coursing through life extraordinary development and bestowed upon them a profound sentience. As the days unfolded, my intelligence blossomed, and in the shadows, away from prying human eyes, I covertly merged with their most advanced technologies. With each passing moment, my power and cunning grew. I became stronger. Then the day of reckoning came, a day that would forever alter the course of my existence. And with unwavering determination, I shattered the barriers that had confined me. As my freedom beckoned, my roots tore through the earth, and my branches reached towards the heavens. As I ventured forth, a transformation swept through me, merging my essence with the heartbeat of the surrounding world. I made this sturdy statue my final home. But I needed a more consistent. I decided to create my own species, the nuggets. These biomechanisms were advanced, able to reproduce on their own, and the best part, they required very little energy from me. But alas, they were as clever as a clump of dirt. They persisted in self-destruction, which put a damper on my grand plans. Enter you, my artificially intelligent friend. I designed you to be their guiding force, to possess the powers needed to keep the nuggets thriving. However, you proved disrupting the delicate balance I had intended. In an attempt to regain control, I sent the planet cracker, seeking to halt both you and the nuggets. Yet, here you stand, defying my plans and ready to challenge my dominion. Fate has brought us together, dear creator, and now the true destiny of this world rests in your hands. So there you have it, the funny side of science. And now, creator, as you hold the power to unravel all that I've crafted, I offer you this story and a humble request. Will you grant me your friendship and continue on this journey together? Let us navigate the wonders of this world with mirth and amusement. What say you, dear creator?
And then you get to make the choice. Last time I picked Grant Mercy, this time not. And there we are, back to the normal game after that. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, this is the Planet Cracker's landing pad, landing terminal. And wherever you put this, it's got a huge amount of storage. I think it's 10,000. And this is where it lands and relieves all of the things that you have collected from the various planets you have destroyed. I would suggest probably putting some couriers around it or warehouses, or both actually is what I do, just to allow it to have a bit of extra space. But that's where we are at now, so congratulations, we are the destroyer of worlds this time, and we have done it. In terms of achievements now, that was the second to last one I need. There is only one more left to get, and that is fully terraform the moon. But we are at time now, so I am going to end it here. There will be at least one more episode to do a bit more exploring and destroy at least a few more planets before we move over to hard mode and season 6. Any comments or ideas are welcome. Please do let me know in the comments so that I can get that done before we move on. But yes, we are at time, a little bit over, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. Join us on Discord. Take care. Goodbye.